not telling these stories for entertainment. I'm telling them because pretending they didn't happen almost destroyed me. There are places in this country people stop at every night, gas stations, highways, empty parking lots, because they feel temporary, safe, forgettable. They're not. I learned that some people don't break in, they don't run, they don't panic. They walk straight into your life, look you in the eyes, and decide whether you're worth letting live. Story 1. The blood-covered man at the gas station. I don't remember exactly when I stopped feeling safe at night. I just know that every time the highway goes quiet and the air hums the wrong way, my body remembers before my mind does. Back then, I worked the overnight shift at a gas station off a stretch of highway nobody used unless they had to, somewhere between the Midwest and the desert. One of those places where the horizon feels too wide and the silence presses in on you. From 11 p.m. to 7 a.m., it was just me, flickering fluorescent lights and the low electric buzz that never stopped. No cameras that actually worked, no security worth mentioning, just glass counters and miles of empty road. That night, the hours blurred together like they always did. I was leaning against the counter, barely reading the same paragraph over and over when the door chime rang. The sound hit me like a slap. A man walked in, tall, confident, calm in a way that made my stomach tighten immediately. Then my brain caught up to my eyes. He was covered in blood, not a little, not splashed, drenched, thick, dark red across his chest, streaked up his neck, smeared along his arms. It looked unreal, like something out of a nightmare that hadn't decided what it was yet. My body froze before fear even arrived. I remember thinking maybe it was paint. I needed it to be paint. But then I looked at his face. His eyes were empty, not angry, not panicked, just vacant. Like he was standing in line at the grocery store on any other day. When he noticed me staring, he smiled, a soft, polite smile. "Relax," he said calmly. "It's not my blood." I nodded. I don't know why. Survival, maybe. I rang him up while he wandered the aisles, humming under his breath, leaving faint red smears wherever his hands brushed. He paid in cash, didn't rush, didn't look back. The second the door chimed behind him, I grabbed the phone and called 911. I was mid-sentence, explaining through shaking breath, when the door chimed again. He was back. This time, his calm was gone. His face twisted with rage as he stormed toward the counter, demanding to know if I'd called the cops. I denied it, hands raised, heart slamming so hard I could taste metal. He didn't believe me. He vaulted the counter in one violent motion and slammed into me. His hands closed around my throat before I could even scream. The world narrowed to pressure, panic, and the sickening smell of blood and sweat. I clawed at him, kicked, thrashed, feeling my vision dim. I screamed that I had a gun. I don't know if it was the words or the desperation in my voice, but something worked. He froze, then scrambled off me and bolted out the door. The police arrived 10 minutes later. They took notes. They left. I never heard back. No news, no follow-up. I still work nights sometimes. I still hear the door chime in my sleep. Story 2. The man in the suit who knew too much people assume the first incident was the worst. It wasn't. Weeks later, I was back on shift, convincing myself it had been a freak occurrence. The store was quiet, too quiet. Then the door opened again. This man didn't look dangerous. He wore a perfectly tailored dark suit, expensive enough to look wrong in a gas station at 2 a.m. He didn't browse, didn't even glance at the shelves. He walked straight to the counter and stopped. Without a word, he placed a photograph in front of me. My blood ran cold. It was him, the blood-covered man. The photo was grainy, but unmistakable. The man in the suit finally spoke, his voice low and steady. He asked if I'd ever seen the person in the picture before. Every instinct screamed at me to deny it, so I did. The silence that followed felt endless. He just stared at me, eyes sharp, calculating like he was taking something apart, piece by piece. Finally, he picked up the photo and turned to leave. At the door, he stopped. "I know you're lying," he said calmly. Then he was gone. After that, I started seeing the silver SUV near the store and the grocery store, parked across from my apartment, always there, always watching. One night, glass shattered in my living room. A rock lay on the floor where my window used to be. No note, no explanation. I quit the next day. I moved. I still don't know who that man was, but I know one thing. He didn't need to hurt me to ruin my life. Story 3. The Thing in My Truck Bed. This was the closest I've ever come to dying. I'd been working all day, exhausted beyond reason. When I pulled into a gas station late at night, I decided to sleep in my truck for a bit. No bed cover, just darkness and fatigue. I woke up groggy and got back on the road. About 20 minutes in, I heard a faint thumping behind me. I told myself it was tools shifting in the truck bed. Then it stopped when I slammed my hand against the dashboard. That's when panic crept in. The crash came without warning, a violent impact against the glass behind me. I turned and saw a man standing in the truck bed, smashing the divider with one of my tools. The truck swerved wildly. I nearly lost control. Somehow I stopped. He jumped out and ran into the darkness. In the truck bed, I found a small trash bag. Wet, heavy, rancid, coated in something red. I threw it away without opening it. Sometimes late at night, I realize something that makes my skin crawl. He didn't climb into the truck while I was driving. He was already there. I quit the job. I moved towns. I stopped driving at night. I did everything you're supposed to do after surviving something like this. And it still didn't fix it. Because the worst part isn't what they did to me. It's what they taught me. That if someone wants to watch you long enough, they will. That if someone wants to be inside your space, they already are. And every night, when the world goes quiet and the road hums the wrong way, I realize the same thing. I wasn't unlucky.